Hey guys, Tyler Alberti here again, just in the studio this morning, and I wanted to just show you guys how to put together some Studio V-flats. I've prepared a couple already and taped up the edges, painted one side black already. I've got one more board left to put together, so I wanted to just show you guys how I do it and how I prep it. So the things that you'll need to do this is some 50mm black cloth tape, 50mm white cloth tape, a knife of any description, and some spray adhesive for bonding and mounting. This stuff is acid free and won't harm the styrofoam. And the reason we use this is to spray on the foam edges before we put the tape on, just to give it a nice and permanent bond so that tape doesn't keep peeling off over and over when it gets hot or you move it around. It just makes it nice and permanent. So that's a good little solution for that one. So let's take a look and I'll show you how we do it. So guys, what I've got here is a piece of styrofoam board. This is 2400mm long by 1200mm wide, and it's roughly 40mm in thickness. So this one is quite a big one. I wanted big ones because I've got nice high ceilings here in the studio, and these fit perfectly. And the great thing about having ones this big is that you could put 2 or 3 of them together and you could actually make like a little room or a wedge wall and use them as props and not just to use as reflectors or fill boards or, you know, blackouts. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now is just show you guys how I prep the edges and spray them with the spray adhesive glue and then put the tape on. I'm going to start with the black side, so let's have a look. So guys, we're just going to get the spray adhesive here and we're going to run it all along the edge here and then stick down some black cloth tape just to seal this edge up. Make sure you give your glue a nice shape and give it a nice light spray along this edge. And it's okay to go onto the black as well because we're going to fold the tape down a little bit. Okay, so now getting the black tape, all you want to do is start at one end and stick it around the edge, tape that down, and without sticking this down as you go, what you want to do is use a wall to prop the foam against and pull the tape all the way out and just pull it taut. And then you can just run along and stick that down nice and flat. Now what you want to do is just pull these edges down nice and taut and squish them down with your thumb. Super easy, nice and slow. Just give it a squish. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You're not really going to see the detail of this. It's really just here to protect the edges so that the foam doesn't chip away while you're moving it around or you bump into it. Now what you're going to do is get your knife and go to the end and just cut the ends so that you can fold this down. Cutting away any excess. Just folding that down, nice and easy. Okay guys, so I've done the sides. I'm just going to show you guys how to do the edge now. It's a little bit trickier. So what you want to do is give it a spray first, and then you can just prop it up using your foot and just run it down. It's pretty easy. Little spray. And just lifting this up a bit, you can rest it on your knee. Obviously, if you have a friend to help, this would be ideal. Just pulling the tape out and lining it up and just tacking it down. Giving it a little press. Nice, easy. I normally just turn the board over just to cut the tape off. It's a little bit easier. And then just folding those edges down. And just cutting away any of the excess. There's always a little bit that overlaps, and sometimes you just can't fold it down or get it quite right. It doesn't really matter, just cut it away. Easy. Okay guys, so we've done the black edge now. What we got to do is get the white cloth tape and run it over the top of the black. Just a little bit of overlap, just so you complete the edge there, so it's all sealed away so you can't take any nicks or scrapes out of the foam because it's quite fragile. So all you got to do is, once again, get your spray adhesive, give it a little spray all along this edge, nice and easy. We get the white cloth tape. It's good to do this nice and quick because that glue dries pretty fast. Again, just wrapping it around the edge. And I normally just do about a 10mm overlap over the black. And the great thing about the white cloth tape is that you can actually see the black underneath or through it, through the tape. So you can you can gauge the right amount to overlap. Just pulling that tight and squishing it down again, pressing firmly, getting out any air bubbles. And you should be able to see a nice overlap there. And you know that that edge is now all sealed up. So just cutting off the end. And folding down the edges again, nice and tight. And just cutting this end here so that you can fold it down. Easy. And then, yeah, just repeat the process on all the edges with the little overlap and you'll be all sweet. So guys, that's pretty much it. What we've got here is, as I said, the 2.4 by 1.2 poly board. And we've masked all the edges so they're nice and safe. We've painted the black. Now, some of you are probably wondering what sort of paint that you can use. The only kind of paint that you can use on styrofoam board so that it doesn't melt is actually acrylic based paint. So your craft paints, anything that you get at a paint supply store or a craft store. So I just got a big 2-litre bottle of that, just mixed 50-50 with some water, got a roller and just rolled it on. Didn't need to do 2 coats, just one nice thick coat and it sort of seeps in. And the great thing is you can put anything on here. You can put red, blue, green, whatever you need. Maybe you need some green screen boards. In the next video, I'll show you guys how I actually stick these together to make the V flat, and I'll also make another video on how to make a little floor stand for these so that you can have them as freestanding walls. Thanks guys, see you next time.